Have you ever noticed how older people seem calm in almost every situation? Like no matter what's happening around them, they stay relaxed, steady, unbothered. Of course, it's their experience, years of going through storms, setbacks, and life surprises, that shape them into people who don't get shaken easily. Honestly, that's something I want to achieve at a younger age. I'm fascinated by that kind of inner stability, that quiet strength that doesn't depend on circumstances, that ability to stay grounded even when life gets messy. And that's exactly what this foundation is trying to aim for. When your inner world is healthy and aligned, everything else becomes easier, or at the very least, bearable. You think clearer. You stay calmer. You show up stronger. And your family feels and sees it. Your kids will mirror what they see in you. That's why this foundation matters. It's the path to becoming that steady, grounded man long before old age teaches it to you. Welcome to Dads Beyond the Struggles, a space where fathers like us learn to grow, stay grounded, and rise above the challenges. Before we continue, please hit subscribe so we can reach and support more dads who need this message. By definition, the mind, heart, and spirit foundation is your internal self, how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to whatever life brings your way. It's the alignment of your thoughts, your emotions, and your values. And when these three are working together, they keep you steady on the inside even when the outside world gets chaotic. When this inner foundation is strong, you show up as a calmer, clearer, more grounded man, and a more intentional father. And when you take care of your mind, heart, and spirit, you start to feel changes that go far deeper than anything physical. These are the changes that shape who you are on the inside, the part of you your family feels every day. First, you gain clearer thinking. Your mind becomes sharper. You stop overthinking. You stop spiraling, and you start seeing situations for what they really are. A clear mind helps you make better decisions and stay steady even when life gets messy. Second, you develop emotional stability. You don't get triggered as easily. You don't explode or shut down. You learn to respond instead of react, and that creates a calmer home, a safer emotional environment, and a version of you your family can trust. And third, you build inner strength and spiritual grounding. You become harder to shake. Stress doesn't break you the way it used to. You stay grounded, centered, and aligned with your values. This is where your purpose comes from, the part of you that knows who you are and what you stand for. When your mind, heart, and spirit are healthy, you become a calmer, wiser, more intentional man, the kind of dad who leads from the inside out. Now, let's break these three down and see where we can improve our lives. First, let's talk about mind. These are the habits that strengthen how you think and process life. And here is some of it. Journaling. One of the reasons I built this channel is to help me journal my thoughts, organize them, and understand myself better. When you write things down, you take the chaos in your head and turn it into something you can see, something you can understand. Journaling helps you slow down, reflect, and make sense of what's happening inside you. It's not just writing, it's mental decluttering. Learning something new, or sharpening the saw. Your mind needs growth. When you learn new skills, new ideas, or new perspectives, you keep your mind sharp, curious, and alive. It reminds you that you're still evolving, not stuck, not stagnant, not limited to who you were yesterday. A growing mind is a confident mind. Right now, I'm learning YouTube so that I can reach more people and bring value to fathers who need it. Setting mental boundaries. This is protecting your peace by limiting negativity and unnecessary stress. And honestly, this for me is one of the hardest things to do, especially when it comes to work. Setting boundaries means not thinking about work on weekends, not bringing office stress into your home, and not letting your mind stay stuck in problems when you're supposed to be resting. It's focusing on the moment you're in. I struggle with this too, but it's necessary. Your mind needs space to breathe. Quiet time. Moments of silence to reset your thoughts and calm your mind. Early and slow mornings are my favorite because the world is quiet. There's no rush, and your mind hasn't been attacked by noise yet. In those moments, you can think clearly, breathe deeply, and start your day with intention instead of chaos. Quiet time is mental recovery. At the end of the day, a strong mind gives you clarity, direction, and the ability to handle life without getting overwhelmed. When your mind is steady, the rest of you can finally breathe, and that's your cue to start practicing these habits, even in small ways. So your mind becomes a place of strength instead of stress. Second, let's talk about heart. This is about how you feel, how you process emotions, and how you connect with others. It includes emotional check-ins. This is simply asking yourself, what am I feeling right now and why? Most of us grew up ignoring our emotions or pushing them aside because we were taught to man up. But checking in with yourself helps you understand your triggers, your stress, and your reactions. It's not weakness, it's awareness. And awareness is the first step to emotional control. Healthy emotional expression. Instead of suppressing everything, you talk about it, write about it, or process it in a healthy way. Because when you bottle things up, they don't disappear. They leak out in anger, silence, or distance. Healthy expression keeps your heart light and your relationships safe. Practicing empathy and patience, especially with your partner and your kids. Empathy is understanding where they're coming from, even when you don't agree. Patience is giving them space to grow, make mistakes, and learn. When your heart is steady, you don't take everything personally. You respond with understanding instead of frustration. A simple example is this. When someone cuts you off in traffic and speeds away, instead of getting angry, assume good intent. Maybe they're rushing to an emergency. Or maybe they're desperately looking for the nearest bathroom. You don't know their story, and choosing the kinder explanation keeps your heart calm. Empathy and patience aren't just for the people around you. More importantly, they're for you. They protect your peace, your emotional stability, and the way you show up as a father. Celebrating small wins. Your heart needs encouragement. Celebrating small progress, even tiny steps, builds emotional momentum. It reminds you that you are moving forward, even if slowly. Small wins keep your heart motivated, hopeful, and confident. Biting the bullet. This means facing uncomfortable emotions or conversations instead of avoiding them. Whether it's apologizing, admitting you're wrong, or talking about something painful, these moments build emotional maturity. They strengthen your relationships and teach your heart courage. Avoidance creates distance. Honesty creates connection. A steady heart shapes the way you show up for the people you love. When you understand your emotions and handle them with maturity, you create a safer, calmer space for your family. So start practicing these habits intentionally and let your heart become a source of strength, not stress. Third and last, let's talk about spirit. This is how you respond to life, what grounds you, and what gives you purpose. This includes prayer and reflection. For me, this is talking to God and grounding myself in something bigger than my own strength. I know not everyone believes in Him, and I respect that. But personally, as someone who once went through a season of not believing at all, I realized something. Life feels more meaningful, more guided, and more fulfilling when you have a God you believe in. It gives you direction when you're lost and peace when things don't make sense. Focus on gratitude. Gratitude shifts your whole spirit. It reminds you that even when life feels heavy, there are still things going right. When you focus on what you have instead of what's missing, your heart becomes lighter. You stop living in frustration and start living in appreciation. Gratitude doesn't erase your problems, but it gives you the strength and perspective to face them with a calmer, more grounded attitude. Relax and listen to old people when they say, everything will be fine. There's a reason older people say this with so much confidence. They've lived through storms we haven't even imagined. They've seen problems rise and fall, and they know that most things we panic about eventually settle. When they say, everything will be fine, it's not blind optimism, it's experience talking. Sometimes we need to borrow that wisdom. We need to breathe, slow down, and trust that not every situation requires panic. Some things resolve with time, patience, and faith. Learn to let things go. This one is hard, especially for people like us who believe that if we give our best, we should get the result. My mother always told me, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Or if something I want did not happen, she'll say, it's not for you. You'll have better. And honestly, that never made sense to me before. I used to think letting go was the same as giving up, but now, I'm starting to understand. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's accepting that some things are out of your control, and that's okay. Forcing them only drains your spirit. When you learn to release what isn't meant for you, you make space for what is. A grounded spirit gives you peace, direction, and the strength to face life without breaking. When you learn to trust God, practice gratitude, relax, and let go of what isn't meant for you, your whole life becomes lighter. So start leaning into these habits and let your spirit lead you with calm, clarity, and purpose. Everything starts inside you. Not with your job, not with your achievements, not with how much you can carry, but with your mind, your heart, and your spirit. When these three are aligned, life doesn't magically become easy. You become stronger. You think clearer. You feel deeper. You respond wiser. This foundation isn't about perfection. It's about direction. It's about becoming the kind of man who leads from the inside out, long before life forces you to learn it the hard way. So start with the small things. Strengthen your mind. Steady your heart. Ground your spirit. Because when your inner world is strong, the outside world loses its power to shake you. And that's how you become the calm, steady, intentional father your family will always look up to. This video helped you. Hit like so more dads can see it. Subscribe for more simple, practical content to help you become a healthier, more present father. Share this with a dad who might need this message. And drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your journey. And together, we will rise above the battles we face. Together, we will become dads beyond the struggles.